everybody. Mandy here with Yoga with Mandy. I just wanted to make a quick video towards the end of the evening. I've had 3 inquiries today, plus a few others on some different days about basic yoga moves and what you might hear them called in class. I'm just going to go mostly over some of the English names that you might hear, especially in a beginner class. They most likely aren't going to use too many of the Sanskrit names because most instructors know that you're not going to understand them right away. And honestly, even after several years of practicing, I still don't even have every single one of them memorized. So I'm just going to make this nice educational video on what they're called. I'm not going to go over every alignment cue. There's some other videos on my channel if you wanted to look at more in-depth alignments and cues, but I'm just going to go over a few. The first one, I'm going to go over a couple good grounding poses. So you can have your feet parallel, your big toes touching, whatever's comfortable. Kind of bring your shoulders back and your chest up a little bit, straight spine, strong core, palms facing forward. And here you have our first pose, a mountain pose. So, there you go. All right, our second grounding pose is going to be a tree pose. You're just going to shift your weight on one side, but you're not going to like shift it and move your hips. So you will be sore that way. So you just you're standing here and you just kind of shift over. Obviously, you're going to move over a little bit, but you want to keep your hips as straight as you can. So you can just put your hands in like a prayer, leave them at your side, put them above, whatever you like to do. Just kind of shift your weight over a little bit. When you feel you find your focal point to help you balance, you can just lift your other leg up, and then you're just going to rotate it right at that hip joint, and then you can bring it here. You can even have your toes down. If you need to have your toes down, have your toes down, whatever you need to do. So find your focal point. You can have it right here. You can bring it up to here. You can have your hands here. You can even, if you're comfortable, bring your foot up to your groin area. You don't want to press a bunch of weight right into your groin and thigh. You want to have your thigh and your foot actually pressing together towards each other. That way you're not like leaned way over and your hips are all off focus. And there we have our second grounding pose, a tree pose. So next, some good warm-up poses you might commonly hear. Might be a cat-cow combination. So just kind of get in all fours in what you will know as a tabletop. Here's your regular tabletop position with your wrists under your shoulders and your knees under your hip. And then from a tabletop, you can kind of create that space in your shoulder blades, and you just kind of shift your pelvis around your back, and then your head moving last, lower it, and there you have a cat. Almost like you're a mad cat. And then you can move into a cow by shifting your pelvis, curving your back, your head the last to move, and here you have a cow. So, cat, cow. One more time. Cat, exhale, and you're in a cow. So from here, I'm going to go into some poses that you might hear. They're similar, just different variations. You could go in more like a Sphinx and Cobra pose. You can go into an upward facing dog where you really press with your arms and shoulders, and in order to lift your thighs off the mat, you can kind of rotate your thighs towards each other, but some people think that you're just squeezing your butt, but you're actually taking the tops of the feet and you're pressing them into the mat while you press your hands up. So you literally press your feet, and your body will just automatically kind of lift up when you press your feet and straighten your legs. So there's upward facing dog, and then you will hear downward facing dog. One of my favorite stretches. Feels so relaxing. You can go in and out of it quickly. You can transition great into it, or you can just relax and breathe. So you just want to have your fingertips wide with your hands about shoulder width apart, and toes tucked, and then you just rise and press into a downward facing dog. Kind of push with your hands, work those muscles all around here. And your feet, they're not gonna probably touch your heels to the mat for a while. So I'll move up a little bit. There you go. After you practice for a while, your heels will touch. Some people judge a downward facing dog by how deep you are, how close the crown of your head is to the mat, or if your heels are touching the ground. But you know what? Don't ever judge yourself or compare yourself to others. Just do the best you can do. So here we are in downward facing dog. Now, when you really want to deepen this, you want to kind of inhale, create that space in each of your little vertebrae in your spine. And then when you exhale, really deepen and try and bring the crown of your head to the mat. So you inhale, lengthen, and exhale, deepen. There you go. From here, downward facing dog with all four limbs on the floor. Then you can move into a three-legged dog and literally just lift one leg up where you have just three limbs on the ground. There's your three-legged dog. So there is a couple more poses. And we also have what you'll hear at the beginning of your sun salutations is your folds. So you can have your standard standing forward fold. We're just going to engage your core, spine straight, and you're going to hinge at the hips as you exhale. So you're going to inhale, create that space, exhale, hinge at the hips, keeping that spine straight. Halfway lift is literally lifting halfway up, and then exhale back down. Then you can step or jump back. So we'll just kind of step back into this, what is a high plank, but then you will exhale and lower into a chaturanga, and you just keep your elbows, let me move back a little bit. You keep your elbows hugged, not out like this. We're not doing push-ups. So you just want to keep your elbows close to your body so you can kind of lower, controlled and slow, kind of push off your toes a little bit, keeping your spine straight, and then not having your butt way up in the air. You want to keep your spine straight so you're not sore later. And if chaturanga is too hard, then you just put a blanket on the floor if you need to and get on your knees and modify. I'll just show you that real quick. So you can be on your knees, and you can still have the same concept as a chaturanga. You just have your spine straight, and then just keep your elbows hugged into your body and just kind of lower down like you were doing a push, really. So I hope that you found this helpful. I hope that you can really start to learn the names of some of those poses. So next class you're in, or even the first class you're in, that way when you go and your instructor wants to start naming poses and your transitions, you're gonna not have to look around. I think that anyone who's taken a couple yoga classes have been like, oh, what's that? And had to look around and then just follow what everybody else is doing. But you just keep practicing, keep doing your best. And until next time, I hope you have a great rest of your week. And feel free to like and comment, subscribe to my page. You can find my business page on Facebook with Yoga with Mandy. And also feel free to let me know what videos you wanna see next. What do you want to learn? What do you want to know about? I'll try my best, and if I don't know, then surely I can refer you to someone who can. So thanks again for watching. Have a great week.